हरे कृष्णा।
हरे कृष्णा प्रभु।
हरे कृष्णा।
Okay, we start with the Kirtan. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari Gopijana Vallabha Girivaradhari Gopijana Vallabha गिरिवरधारी यशोधनंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोधनंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे जय प्रभुपद जय प्रभुपद गुरुदेव गुरुदेव जय गुरुदेव निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल निताय गौर प्रेमानंदे हरि हरि बोल। नोमज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूप कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकं। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगणा रघुनाथान्वितं तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवं श्रीराधा कृष्णपादान् सहगणा ललिता श्रीविशाखावितांश्च नमो विष्णुपादाय कृष्णपृष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्त स्वामिन् इति नामिने। नमस्ते सरस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्तवृंद वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। हरे कृष्णा। आप सबका अगेन स्वागत है आज के भक्ति शास्त्री के सत्र में। वेलकम एवरीवन फॉर टुडेज क्लास। सो विल रीड नाउ श्लोका आवर रिसाइटेशन। श्री ईशोपनिषद मंगलाचरण। ओम पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णम् उदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते। ईशावास्यमिदं सर्वं यत्किञ्च जगतां जगत् तेन त्यक्तेन भुञ्जीथा मा गृधः कस्य स्विद्धनं कुर्वन्नेवेह कर्माणि जिजीविषे समाः एवं त्वयि नान्यथेतोऽस्ति न कर्म लिप्यते नरे। असूर्यनाम ते लोका अन्धेन तमसावृताः तांस्ते प्रेत्याभिगच्छन्ति ये के चात्महनो जनाः। अनेजदेकं मनसो जवीयो नयनदेव आप्नुवं पूर्वमर्षत् तद्धावतु अन्यनत्येति तिष्ठत् तस्मिन्नपो मातरिश्वा दधाति। तदेजति तन्नेजति तद्दूरे तदवन्तिके तदन्तरस्य सर्वस्य तदु सर्वास्यस्य बाह्यतः। यस्तु सर्वाणि भूतान्य आत्मन्येवानुपश्यति सर्वभूतेषु चात्मानं ततो न विजुगुप्सते। यस्मिन् सर्वाणि भूतान्य आत्मेवा भूद्विजानतः तत्र को मोहकः शोक एकत्वम् अनुपश्यतः। सपर्यगा शुक्रमकाय वर्णम् अस्नावीरं शुद्धमपापविद्धं कविर्मनीषी परिभू स्वयंभू याथा तथ्यतोऽर्थान् विदधात् शाश्वतीभ्यः समाभ्ययः। अंधं तमः प्रविशन्ति ये विद्यामुपासते ततो भूय इव ते तमो यौ विद्ययामृताः। अन्यदेवाहुर्विद्यया अन्यदाहुरविद्यया इति शुश्रुमधीराणां येनस्तद्विचक्षिरे विद्यां च यस्तद्वेदो भयं सः अविद्याया मृत्युं त्यक्त्वा विद्यायामृतमश्नुते। अंधं तमः प्रविशन्ति ये सम्भूतिमुपासते ततो भूय इव ते तमो यौ सम्भूत्यामृताः। अन्यदेवाहुः सम्भवात् अन्यदाहुरसम्भवात् तिथि शुश्रुमधीराणां येनस्तद्विचक्षिरे सम्भूतिं च विनाशं च यस्तद्वेदो भयं सः विनाशेन मृत्युं त्यक्त्वा सम्भूत्यामृतमश्नुते। हिरण्मयेन पात्रेण सत्यस्यापिहितं मुखं तत्त्वं पूषणम् अपावृणु सत्यधर्माय दिष्टये। पूषणे कर्षेयं सूर्य प्राजापत्य व्यूयः रश्मिन् समूह तेजो यत्ते रूपं कल्याणतमं तत्ते पश्यामि योऽसावसो पुरुषः सोऽहमस्मि वायुरनिलममृतम् अथेदं भस्मान्तं शरीरम् ॐ क्रतो स्मर कृतं स्मर क्रतो स्मर कृतं स्मर अग्नेनय सुपताराय अस्मान् विश्वानि देव वयुनानि विद्वान् युयोध्या स्मज्जुहरानमेनो भूयिष्ठां ते नम उक्तिं विधेम ॐ तत्सत् ओके so invocation were done. Mantra 1, Mantra 2, Mantra 3, they were also completed, where we learned what are the laws of Lord, how we have to live in the harmony with those Lord or with those laws. Then who is that Lord? We have to know from the vision of Mahabhagavats. So that Lord is Achintya, inconceivable, Atarka, you cannot put logic. And then Atmanne ekatvam anupashyati. Atmani means then you have to see that Lord is there in everything and everything is there in the Lord. So this ekatvam has to be seen with the living entities and all the objects in this world. So Lord's ekatvam with all these things has to be seen. And then eighth mantra spoke about what are the divine qualities of the Lord. So that we found out that Lord is a Paribhu, Swayambhu, Saparyagashyam, Akayam, Avarnam, Asnaviram, Papam, Suddham, Apapavidham, and many others quality we saw that. How? These are the transcendental qualities of the Lord. The Lord is Nirgun, but he's also Sagun. Sagun means he is having spiritual qualities. So that we saw. So we did 8th also, we did 9th also. The 9th is coming under 3rd section, where there is a comparative study of Vidya and Avidya. So we are learning that right now. What is Vidya and what is Avidya? So I just show you a minute. So this we were doing in the 9th mantra. What is Avidya and what is Vidya? Avidya means those people who are foolishly running in the pursuit of sense gratification. They are called avidyam upasate. They are worshipping avidya. And vidyayam rataha. Those who are engaged into cultivation of so-called vidya, they are called vidyayam rataha. So that vidya refers to materialistic knowledge for again sense gratification. Here, avidya means ignorance. They have no knowledge. They are simply running towards sense gratification, no knowledge. And those who have knowledge, their purpose is also sense gratification. So knowledge, they have materialistic knowledge. They don't have vidya, does not mean here spiritual knowledge. They are cultivating some Vedic vidyas, but the purpose is sense gratification. Okay. 10th mantra says, avidya here mentions materialistic knowledge for sense gratification. What is here? Vidya, here it has come like avidya. Just see. Because now comparison is between spiritual knowledge and material knowledge. So here material knowledge is working like a vidya, so-called vidya. And here in the 10th mantra, it becomes avidya. And material knowledge for sense gratification. And knowledge about the Krishna consciousness or the spiritual value of the soul, the culture, the nature, or you can say the values of the souls. What are the values? So we will see that in today's, and this also we'll see. So the knowledge about the soul, knowledge about the culture, the soul should be living inside this world with that culture. So what kind of effect comes, what kind of result comes when somebody follows avidya and somebody follows Vidya. So that is mentioned in mantra 10. Then 11th mantra says about avidya we require. It says that Vidya and avidya has to be balanced. And those who balance it, they can approach to the ultimate goal. Okay, so here avidya means knowledge about one's livelihood, means the materialistic knowledge only, which should be required for our livelihood, just to fulfill the necessity of body, so that the body and soul can go together in this material world. We can live peacefully, and we can live peacefully does not mean we should be continuing living peacefully, but we should prepare for going back home, back to Godhead, and that is knowledge about Krishna consciousness. That is Vidya. So it both should combine. Live peacefully in this material world and prepare for going back home, back to Godhead. That is a Vidya. So this is the last mantra which is telling us. So this Isopanishad doing basically comparative study. Srila Prabhupada mentions that between avidya and avidya. Okay, in mantra 9, अंधम तमा प्रविशन्ति ये विद्यायाम उपासते ततो भूय इव ते तमो यौ विद्यायाम रताः. So what things we saw, Srila Prabhupada mentions those who are foolishly going for sense gratification, they have no vidya. Vidya here means they are totally ignorant, no material knowledge also. Okay, they have no material knowledge, just running after sense gratification. So they are called people in avidya. Okay, but those who are helping them with guiding them with materialistic knowledge and telling them what you are doing is very good, just develop good technology, have a nice culture, like today the civilization is godly civilization, so nice culture, nice civilization, so that we will be protected. And everybody is convinced that there is no God, there is no Vedic scripture, all are mythologies, this creation of man. So such kind of civilization we have created with support of materialistic knowledge. So these people who are supporting these foolish, ignorant, sense gratifier, karmis, so these people will go to more darker than these people who are having no knowledge. Okay, so these both are called worshippers of avidya. Okay, worshippers of avidya, these two things. Then comes the second part. Prabhupada mentions about vidyayam rataha. So vidyayam rata, Prabhupada also gives analogies. I'm just having a revision of 9th verse. Prabhupada also gives analogy that avidya upasate means two analogies. Decorating a dead body, and another, the cobra having a jewel on his head. Cobra having jewel on his head is more ferocious than cobra having no jewel. Why? Because if cobra is having jewel, then it always be fearful that somebody is coming to snatch away my jewel. So then it will be always hissing and trying to bite. Yes. So modern educated man, they are fighting. This is my country. You should not come here. You don't find US visa so easily. You don't get US visa. Why? Because America, even though a lot of land is there, but still you should not come because it's my country. Again, I will go and snatch the others' oil property, but nobody should speak anything. So then they are educated and they are powerful. They have a lot of technology. So then they say that you cannot encroach upon our property, but we will do that. So in this way, they are fearful that nobody should come, and they are having the jewel of technology, knowledge, everything, that they can destroy anyone. So then it is like a cobra having a jewel on head. And dead body decoration, Prabhupada mentions just for the pleasure of relatives. The people say that, okay, this fellow has died. Now we will decorate him and we'll take him to the Samsan Ghat and we'll burn his body. So when he is decorated, people become little happy that, okay, he's wearing new clothes. Okay, everything is good, nice. So then good clothes are put on him, everything, and then they take him. But ultimately what it is going to be finished because it's going to be put into the fire. So these two examples are given. Avidyayam upasate. So avidyam upasate means worshippers of ignorance or worshippers of avidya. Then Prabhupada gives example about vidyayam rataha. So vidyayam rataha, who are those? Vedavad Rata. So Vedavad Rata, what are those? These are basically Karma Mimamsak or Karma Kandis who say that Veda's goal is to give you result of your fruitive activities. You want to enjoy either here or in Swarga, Vedas are very good medium for it. Go and follow. Basically, Brahmana says, what is your problem? I have some problem in my destiny. Okay, I will give some money, I will help you. And they will do some yagya and help. And the people will understand these Brahmanas are like God. They can remove all our problems. They can remove bhoot, pisach, all the destiny problems also. And ultimately, they will help us to enjoy the pleasure of Swarga also. So these Brahmana will not teach anything higher than this. They will always say, this is the highest thing. You just come, pay money, and I will do some yagya at your home. Finish. So these people not only do their job like this, but also they misinterpret the Vedas. Prabhupada says in his purport here, they misinterpret the Vedas, and they also raise one leader from their community. Now, to protect our whole group of Vedavadaratas, you become the leader, you become the philosophers, you become the learned scholar, and you speak that how whatever we are doing is very good. And these philosophers or the scholars, they have no ultimate knowledge because they are not the gurus from transcendental disciplic succession. Because unless somebody comes in the transcendental disciplic succession, one cannot understand the purpose of Vedas. See, there are two things. One is called learning, other is called purpose of learning. Learning anyone can have with certain submissiveness, with certain qualities. But purpose can only be learned from proper bona fide spiritual master. The purpose has to be learned. So these Vedavadaratas, they miss in purpose. They have a lot of learning. They can quote slokas, they can do all Uddat, Anudat, all mantra chanting, very nice. But whole goal is sense gratification. The goal is what? Enjoy senses in a religious way. And they also preach to the people. This is the highest thing in the Vedas. So this is a problem with these people. So that's why Vidyayam Rataha. They will go to Eva Eto Bhuyatamo. Means they will go to more higher degree of darkness. Their goal is more higher degree of darkness. To those people who have not read Vedas, जिन्होंने वेद पढ़ा नहीं है, उनसे ज्यादा ये लोग जाएंगे. क्यों जाएंगे? Okay, means all the demigod worshippers, they will go. No, what we mean to say, if this demigod worshipper have proper guru and they don't misinterpret Vedas, they understand Vishnu is supreme, Krishna is supreme, Bhagavatam. Yeah, another thing Prabhupada mentions that they also criticize the Puranas. They say Puranas, Vedas are the supreme. Puranas are for knave people. We are learned people. We don't read Puranas. So they also disregard Puranas. And we give so much importance to Puranas, Srimad Bhagavatam, Mahapuran. But they say, no. These are lower. Highest is Vedas. So they don't understand the Vedas fully. They don't understand the purpose of Vedas. They also raise a leader from their side. And they disregard the scriptures also. So that is why their knowledge become conditioned. They become fanatic also. And so they go to the more degree of ignorance. They go to the zone of more degree of ignorance. So these are the Vedavadaratas, the follower of the Vedic path. Better than them are those who have not read the Vedas. Amazing thing, eh? But they are better. They will go to at least some little, some zone of darkness, but they will go to more greater zone of darkness. And the last Prabhupada says, Maya Aparita. Maya Aparita Jnana. These people, either they will make some man as a god, or they will worship themselves as God. They will not worship God. They will say, that is Narayan. All poor have become God. No need to go to temple. Just serve poor. That is the ultimate thing. Or he will say, I have become God. Now worship me. Take Charnamrit. And then give me money. And then become my disciple. And you will go to I will take you to my abode. So these two kind of people who themselves become God or make people God and they reject God in temple. These are Maya Aparita Jnanas. So these people will also go to the more degree of darker region. Okay, so this we saw. So this is the result. This is what avidyayam upasate, and so-called vidya, which is misguided, mistaken vidya, rataha. Those who are engaged into the vidya, cultivation of vidya, and they are misguided people, they are mistaken people, and they are guiding others also wrongly. So that is the result actually. Now result is going to come later. Okay, how these people, some result we are seeing here, but how these people are changing the society or civilization. What is happening in civilization because of these people who are avidyam upasate people basically. Or Vidyayamrata, what changes are going to come? So 10th shloka, we also did to some part this one. Anyadevahur vidyaya, anyadahura vidyaya, iti shushrumadhiranam, yenastadvicha chakshire. The wise have explained that one result is derived from the culture of knowledge, and that a different result is obtained from the culture of science. So different results are there. Wise have explained. And by seeing the result, one can assume that what could be the cause of such result. Modern society we are seeing, so we can see and we can predict that why such situation has arrived. Because of avidyam upasate. People are worshipping avidya. Or vidyam rataha, so-called vidya. That is why the modern godless civilization is the result. So this shloka is telling, if you follow vidya, what result should come out? If you follow avidya, what result should come out? So let us see. So according to this mantra, previous discussion, avidyam upasate and so-called vidya rataha, both are now considered as avidya here. Because both are avidya only in one sense, because they are not in knowledge again. And now here vidya means what? Spiritual knowledge here. So we should not get confused. Ishopanishad is contextual. The words are used here according to the context. Okay. So here vidya means spiritual knowledge, and avidya means so-called vidya plus avidya fully. Okay. दोनों को मिला के. So yes, this is done. So we had read last time Bhagavad Gita 13.8 to 12 shlokas. Amanitvam adambitvam ahimsa santirajam acharyopasanam socham stharyam atmanigraha. So those 18 items or 20 items of knowledge, Krishna says that this is the only knowledge, and besides it, whatever may be, it is ignorance. Whatever may be there beside these items of knowledge is ignorance, Krishna is saying. So what is the first item? Srila Prabhupada says, first item of knowledge, or after practicing vidya, what result should come out in our society, in our civilization? What result should come out? First, one should become a perfect gentleman and learn to give proper respect to others. This is the first thing. Amanitvam. So one should give proper respect to first perfect gentleman. What do you mean by gentleman? Srila Prabhupada said that my devotees are perfect gentlemen. Perfect gentlemen means they don't have bad habits. They follow 4 regulative principles. They don't kill animals. They don't do any intoxication. They don't smuggle with money. They don't also, what is the last one? No meat eating, no gambling, no intoxication, no illicit sex. They have a nice regulated life. So these are the qualities of gentlemen actually. And they are also nicely well behaved with one and another. Yes. We have a full etiquette, like we have Vaishnava etiquette. By learning Vaishnava etiquette, we also learn how to talk with others. Yes. Like many times devotees, when they are trained into the youth centers, those from the youth center, they even go to the companies and they say some ordinary man, Prabhu. They start calling him Prabhu. So then he says, who is this Prabhu? Oh, sorry. But this nature, the talking nature does not change. Many times again we call, oh Prabhu. So then they understand, this is Hare Krishna person. They address each other like Prabhu. So So he accepts that. Okay, no problem. You call me Prabhu. And in company, what they teach, you should call people by the name, not even sir or madam, by name. Anita, Sunita, Sumit, Kamal, like that. So you should not add any like some words of respect, but you should just call by the name, and don't even call the surname. Just call the first name. So these clear difference between the culture of avidya and culture of vidya. Clear difference we can see. Yes, many times people feel little hesitation to call one senior's name. Like in Vedic culture, the wife would never call her husband name directly. She will say, Aji, Aji aate ho kya? Aji sunte ho kya? Like in India, they call like that. So they address through some indirect way, they address their husband, because calling the name of like we say, na, mummy, papa, we never call the name of mummy. Okay, Sunita mother, please come. We never say like that. Like in our homes, we call mummy, papa. Why? Because these names are having some respect, as well as some emotions, and some relationships are easily understandable. Okay, she is mummy and he is papa. Not calling by the name, because names, if you call the name, then it is not appropriate for us to call the name. Some outsider can come and say, oh, Anil bhai sahab kaise hain? But we cannot say Anil papa. No, we can only call papa. Anil is papa, means he is a father, or father. So these cultures are there. But how can we disregard such culture or neglect such culture in companies? It means we are basically learning something else. To perfect gentleman, Sanatan Goswami, he's a emblem of humility actually. When Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he met first time Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he he was saying that Kena Amik, Kena Amar Japa Tapatre. Who am I? Why am I suffering this material world? And people call me a great Pandit, having knowledge of so many scriptures, but I do not know who am I, why I'm suffering in this world. So he is basically showing how one should surrender to one's spiritual master. To all of us, he knew why he's suffering. He knew that he's also knowledge, but he's telling this is reality. Many people in this world are addressed nicely by others, either Pandit or knowledgeable, but they do not know who are they. Are they body or soul? Why they are suffering? They are suffering because they have less of money, no food, or because of some other reason, or there is the eternal suffering. They do not know about the eternal truths, but still they are addressed like Pandit. So this is important thing. So humility, Srila Prabhupada says, humility, the definition in Bhagavad Gita says that one should not be anxious to be honored by others. One should not be anxious to be honored by others. Okay, now I have come to some commit, like some, say, seminar or some kind of gathering. Now people should respect me now. So that remains in the mind, like it was there in the mind of Daksha when he came into the assembly. Then he expected that Brahma, okay, he is my father-in-law, he may not get up, but Lord Shiva, he is my daughter's husband, so he must get up to respect me. So he had in the mind beforehand, so why Shiva was respected more than me. Now, today he did not get up, I will now take him to action. So then he does not show the behavior of humility there. Humility means not to be anxious, being honored by others. Okay, we are very happy. Okay, you honored me, so we are very happy. See, this is what a Vedic teaching. Many times in modern times, people teach you should give self-respect too much. Yeah, what is written here? Just see, learn to give proper respect to others. And some other places, I am reading Isopanishad. Some letters changing has been there. What they have written earlier. One should become perfect gentleman himself and learn to give proper respect to persons other than himself. Now here it is written respect to others, but here it is written other than himself. Means it is being taught here that respect to oneself will come when you follow regulative principles, religious principle. You yourself feel very nice. You need not to extra give yourself respect, but you are sinful, very much sinful. You see, many times when people are sinful, they feel that their life is futile, and therefore they do big wrong things. They want to gain some happiness through doing something wrong because they don't have anything inside. No good things to relish, no good things to give value to their life. So they want to do something outside and feel some value. These are the things with the sinful people. But those who are dharmic people, they themselves feel, because God gives them satisfaction, God gives them fame, name, all. So many people respect them. Yes. So therefore, it is mentioned that one should learn to give proper respect to others. We have to learn to give this, and we have to really learn about it. Then second, one should not pose himself as a religionist simply for name and fame. One should not pose. So posing means simply making show of religion, that okay, like we are also doing some part of religion, but really there is nothing, no content in the religion. Like people go to the temple, they put tilak, they will go one day to this temple and the temple, and they will go to other temples. Why? Because now his habit is, before going to office, he will go to some temple, different temple, and then he will go to office. This is not a religion. It means he has no understanding of religion. He just for name, fame, that everybody will say in office that, oh, he's a religious man. Or people also, they have no understanding. See here, what is meant here? Very deep sentence. Like Muslim Hindus are also fighting for certain things. But religion is not meant for fighting. Religion is to understand that we are all children of God. We have to understand what is my quota and what is his quota. God is ultimate proprietor. Why unnecessarily one should fight? So to know what is our quota, we have to hear the guru or authority. Yes. So then the religion has to be taught properly, educated properly by proper bona fide gurus. Otherwise, see, it is simply for name and fame. Okay, India is how many, like people say, India is multicultural, multi-religious country. But what is meant by culture and religion? All fighting each other. Yeah. Or some people say, we don't want to fight. We don't want to be called as any religion. We are simply good doing. Do good, live good, having good hope for others. No religion. So that is called now spirituality without religion. People have come to that. Everybody is equal. Spirituality without religion. That is the concept. So Prabhupada says, if spirituality without religion, what is that? Like it is said that philosophy without religion is what? It's a statement of Bhagavad Gita. Philosophy without religion is simply
Sentimentalism.
Sentimental.
And religion or philosophy without religion, then
Mental speculation.
yes, mental speculation. Correct. So spirituality without religion means they have simply mental speculation. No religion. Koi practice nahi. So this they are doing. And some people are practicing but no knowledge. So they are simply like followers. उनको जो बाबा बोलेगा इधर आ जाओ तो उधर चले जाएंगे, ये बाबा बोलेगा इधर आ जा, ये इधर आ जाएंगे. So these are these people. So simply posing themselves as religionists but having no knowledge, no proper understanding. So therefore, here the result of Vidya is spoken in this way, that one should not pose himself. Means one should really cultivate the knowledge of religion. One should cultivate the process of religion and bring about change in oneself. That is mentioned here. And the third, one should not become a source of anxiety to others by actions of his body and by thoughts of his mind and by his words. So ahimsa. So ahimsa. So one should be always careful. One should not cause harm. So Srila Prabhupada has like this principle of no meat eating is guiding us against ahimsa, against hinsa. Yes. So no meat eating means we are not killing any animal. So then we are not committing any hinsa with body. With words, harsh speech. So therefore, Bhagavad Gita mentions that we should practice the austerity of body, mind, and words. That anudvekaram vakyam satyam priyam hitam chayat. That comes. That is for vacha. That we should not anudveg. Don't udveg. Don't agitate others by your speech. And on karam vakyam, satyam priyam hitam chayat. Okay, satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat. Na bruyat apriyam satyam. Asatyam, asatyam priyam. Na bruyat asatyam priyam. What does it mean? Now, this is a social instruction. Srila Prabhupada says this is a social instruction, like we should speak satyam bruyat, priyam bruyat. Speak truth in a palatable way. But don't speak untruth in palatable way. You should. So this whole instruction means you have to speak truth. Try to speak the truth as far as possible to make it palatable. But just because you have learned that it has to be spoken palatable, don't speak the untruth. Okay. Nowadays, these things are happening. They want to protect the society. They don't want to see that so much violence, so much things happen. So then they are speaking untruth. Like nowadays, even in ISKCON, it has come the taking care of children. Taking care of children, Gurukulas are being closed. Yes. So many people have written books and their statements that how the children should be taken care. They should not be punished. They should not be beaten. Everything has to be balanced. Where it is written they should not be punished. Parents, when they keep children at home, will they not punish? They will punish because children, they are naughty. Yes. Why they should be punished? Because even Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, their parents used to say, I will have to punish. I have to teach him the right way because I am father. Jagannath Mishra used to say, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the childhood used to go and then he used to take away the clothes of the ladies there, and sometimes used to disturb the sadhu brahmanas there in the Ganges river. So then they complained against him. And then Jagannath Mishra took the stick that today I will teach him. And then these girls, they came back and told to this Nimai, your father is coming now. Now you will be taught a good lesson. And then he immediately came to know and he ran from other way. And he told to his friends, tell my father that I have not come from school. I am still in the school studying the books. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu went to the home and father is there on the Ganges, on the bank of Ganges. He's searching, where's Nimai? Where's Nimai? The friend said, Nimai never came here. He is in school only. He must have gone back. Oh, he has gone back. Means he has not done any prank with these girls. No. He's very sublime. He's a very peaceful boy. He never comes here. He just, after education, he goes back to the home. And then there, Nimai, what he did, he put some blue ink on his shirt and went to mother, very like gentle. Nothing he has done like. And then mother said, Nimai, oh, you have come from school. Your everything is nice. He had taken bath in Ganges, so he dried everything and went and put ink on his shirt that I have come from school. So this is how he got saved. That okay, mother said, okay, he has come from school. He has not come from the bank. So my child is not notorious. But he wanted to teach. Yes, in the similar way, many times find in the Vedic culture, the teacher, the well-wisher, the teacher, for the good future of a student, he punishes the child. And now, many times in ISKCON, they teach, don't punish. What is this culture? From where you have learned? Even in ISKCON, it is coming. So, this is the problem actually. When we try to bring something, like what happens, the problem becomes so big, so we want to change everything. Okay, we change the tattva only. So that no problem will happen. So this should not happen. Why this is going to happen? Because those people who do not follow the religion, they bring such kind of thoughts. If they really follow the religion will give the right side. कैसे आगे जाना है, कैसे आगे क्या करना है. So because Prabhupada has given us the society, in this society, the religion should be preached. What is truth should be handled, should be. Acharya means what Prabhupada mentioned in the first canto, who knows how to regulate the different rules and regulations of scriptures according to time, place, and circumstances. But he does not say that how he can remove the regulation, put something else. This is not a Acharya. Acharya means he has to bring the same things of the Vedic in the new fashion, but it should bring about the change in the people and take it to the direction where it should be. This is the Acharya. So one should not cause a problem with his words, also with others, to others, himsa. Okay. One should learn forbearance even in the face of provocation from others. Now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says that Tarorapi Shahishvana. One should be tolerant like a trees. Okay. Even more than, api means more than tree. For oneself, one should tolerate. And tolerate also means to forgive. Tolerate comes with the forgiveness. But for others, those who are on the place or position of leadership, they have to take means they have to guard their people again under them from such kind of himsa done by others. Like Yudhishthir Maharaj, when he came to know that he was sent to the Varnavrat with all Pandavas for holy trip, Dhritarashtra called them and told, okay, you nice Pandavas, many days have passed. I feel that you all should go and enjoy. Go to Varnavrat, the nice building we have made for you. Enjoy there. Do some religious activities. Give charity to others. Then Yudhishthira Maharaj thought, I have been sent, but why not his son is coming? It means something problem is there. Then he discussed with Bhima, and Bhima immediately said, no. So what we should do? Attack? Shall we attack now? He said, no. You cannot attack. We should discuss with Vidura. So then they discussed with Vidura, and Vidura told the things, how you should be doing there. So he basically tolerated. He understood this is not the time. We cannot fight. And Pandavas, throughout their life, actually, they tolerated. But ultimately, Krishna told them that you are not meant to be tolerating all the times. You are a king. You have to protect the citizens also. You have dharma also. Because I have come to establish dharma through Kshatriyas. And now Kshatriyas, if they will sit in the jungle, then who will rule the kingdom? Who will rule the country? And then you will always be saying that tolerate. So then you fight. Then you fought. So when people or the kings, they fight for dharma, for the cause of dharma, then it is okay. Otherwise, one should tolerate for oneself. One should tolerate miseries, provocations by others. And tolerate again does not mean that one should just show how much power I have. Like one story comes, one brahmachari, he was a muni. He was practicing chanting or meditation. He heard some chan, some sound. Some lady started coming. So then he left that place and ran away from there. So then one may say that, okay, he should have been there and he should tolerate. This is not place of tolerate. Go, run away from there, because he cannot tolerate. That Vaishya came and she proposed, and he told, let me finish my round. And then she became devotee third day. So he can do that, but others cannot do. He has to run away from there. So tolerate does not mean this thing, that one has to unnecessarily check one's potential. Okay, how much I can tolerate? No. One should take precaution in the beginning, actually. What is detrimental for our spiritual life, we should not try to have a trial on it. Okay, trial करके check करता हूँ कितना मेरे में शक्ति है. One should not do that. One should learn to avoid duplicity in his dealings with others. This is also very important. Prabhupada says one should be straightforward. Many people, in order to make many friends, they say, I will help you. I will give a donation. I will send people to you. And then they forget. They give words, they forget. Why? Why you give words? So can we not be duplicitous? It is said that kings used to be diplomat in previous times, or kings have to be diplomat, and even a merchant has to be diplomat. A householder has to be diplomat. Kut dharma. Otherwise, how will he run his house? How will the merchant run the business? Diplomat means he will say on the face of customer, this commodity I have purchased of 30 rupees, I am selling you to 35. Only 5 rupees gain, but he has purchased of 5 rupees. But he will say, I have purchased 30 rupees. So he is the diplomat. But unless he does diplomacy, how will he earn? So there is some limit of diplomacy, how much he can do. Prabhupada said 25% one can make profit, merchants, but not more than that. Hmm? In the similar way, there are many situations in the life people have to be diplomat, but the Sanatan Goswami became diplomat with that the person who was a jail keeper. Nawab Hussain Sahab caught Sanatan Goswami, put into the jail, and Sanatan Goswami said that you are Muslim, I am also Muslim. I have never gone to Mecca. I want to go to Mecca. If you release me, I will go to Mecca. I will pray about you. I will pray for your family, for everything. I will pray. Please allow me. So he said, no, no, no. The Nawab will punish me. Oh, then he gave him some good amount of gold coin. Again, he did not agree. He gave him more. And then he said, I know you are worried that what you will speak to Nawab. You just tell him that I went for nature call and then I jumped into the Ganga and my body was swept away by the Ganga river. And my body was also not found. So he agreed. And then he gave him the gold coins, everything, and then he released him. So he did diplomacy because he had to serve the Lord. Many times, those who have to join ashram, they do diplomacy. So many times with the parents because they cannot allow him to join. So it has to be seen in what context. If the diplomacy is helping us to follow some dharma, then it is allowed. But again, it should not be self-serving purpose actually. Otherwise, in most of the cases, one should be simply having a simple or straightforward discussion. Why we need to create so many friends? If you cannot help so many people, why you're unnecessarily speaking? मैं तुमको वो दे दूंगा, तुमको ये दे दूंगा, वो दे दूंगा. कई लोग बोलते हैं, बट जब करने की बात आती है तो कुछ नहीं निकलता है उनके हाथ से. तो डिप्लोमेसी नहीं होना चाहिए एक्चुअली. आगे कुछ बोलना, पीछे कुछ बोलना. हाँ, sometimes this also happen, like some superior is there and then he chastises the junior. So the junior will not speak in front, but later he will speak to others. Oh, I did the right thing again, still I was chastised. What is this? But the same thing we can find in the life of Jiva Goswami. When he was criticized, or Rupa Goswami said that you spent your valuable time in discussion with the Rupa Narayan. You have a lot of false ego. You cannot stay in Vrindavan. Because I already wrote in his Vijay Patra that you have won the game. Now you are the leader. You know the philosophy, highest philosophy. Then why unnecessarily you went and started discussing with him and then defeated him? Why you spent so many times? He spent at least some days actually to defeat him. You have a lot of false ego, and those who have false ego cannot remain in Vrindavan. Go out. So Jiva Goswami was sent out of Vrindavan. And Jiva Goswami went to some Nandagram. There some cave was there, and there he started chanting rounds. And he was praying, he was crying that, Lord, I am really useless. I cannot serve my Guru. I have so much pride in my heart. So he did not spoke against his superior, but he understood the fault is in me actually. So then he wept tears. Then Sanatan Goswami, he was passing, because Sanatan Goswami was a guru for all Brajavasis. So when he was passing from that village, he saw that somebody is crying from that cave, loudly Krishna's name. Then he understood it's a Jiva. And then he went back to Rupa Goswami and said, what is the instruction of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? You should show mercy to Jiva, Jiva Daya. And you have left one Jiva there crying. So then he personally goes there, Rupa Goswami, and brings the Jiva Goswami and nourishes him back, because he was not eating also. He was just crying and chanting. So that is a very high example, correct? But in our life, this many times happen that we become duplicitous. So we should try to control this urge and try to meditate upon our own fault and correct ourselves by chanting the holy names of the Lord. We should learn to, we should search out the bona fide spiritual master who can lead him gradually to the, one should search a bona fide spiritual master who can lead him gradually to the stage of spiritual realization. And one must submit himself to such a spiritual master, render him service, and ask relevant questions. This is a gradual development of knowledge that the person should understand. Now I have to search out a spiritual master. I have good qualities. I'm not having any duplicity. I'm trying to control my urges. Now I should go to some guru and learn about his self-realization. Then this person goes and submits to self-realized person or spiritual master. Bona fide spiritual masters. Narottam Das Goswami's example is there. How he was searching for a spiritual master. He wanted that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had said to him that you should take initiation from Loknath Goswami. And now Loknath Goswami, after Rup Goswami and Sanatan Goswami departed, he thought, I am unqualified, I am unfit to advance myself. How can I initiate anyone else? So he was not initiating. But ultimately, by seeing the submissiveness and the very intense desire in the heart of Narottam Das Goswami, to accept Guru, he just accepted him actually. He understood that he is a very genuine person. He's not coming just because to show off Guru. Many times people take Guru just to show off. Ki mera bhi Guru hai, but they don't follow anything. In order to approach the platform of self-realization, one must follow the regulative principle enjoined in the revealed scripture. This is called Vaidhi Bhakti. How we can approach self-realization? Through Vaidhi Bhakti, then Raganuga, and then later Bhav Bhakti, it will come. So, Vaidhi Bhakti we have to follow. So, Guru, he teaches us Vaidhi Bhakti, rules and regulations. One must be fixed in the tenets of revealed scripture. What are those? Again, chanting 16 round, follow 4 regulative principles. These are the, and waking up early in the morning, offering bhoga to the Lord, then honoring the prasadam, having a proper dealing with the devotees, dedicating for the mission of a spiritual master. These are the tenets and 64 items actually of limbs of bhakti, 64 limbs of bhakti, which we'll be reading in NOD. One should completely refrain from the practices which are detrimental to the interest of self-realization. Like again, breaking 4 regs, 4 regulative principles. So these are also the knowledge actually. The knowledge result, if somebody is knowledgeable, the result is he will follow all these things. He will know what is harmful for me, what is good for me, what is my process. And my process is Vaidhi Bhakti. And instructions are 16 round, serving Guru in the mission. And then what I should not be doing, what are the don'ts, 4 regulative principles I should not break. Also, other things mentions here. It comes here. One should not accept more than he requires for the maintenance of body, like atyahara prayasascha prajalpo niyamagraha janasangasya lolyam cha shadvir bhaktir vinashyati. So again, these are also detrimental. Atyahara, but these things are automatically taken. Means once somebody comes into bhakti, spiritual master says that 4 regulative principles and 16 round. He does not say there atyahara prayasascha, because he knows that these things will be cleared out while he will start practicing bhakti. So when we start practicing bhakti, we have cleared the examination, matlab entrance test ho gaya, 16 mala or 4 niyam, aap aa chuke, you have come into the now realm of or in the process of authorized devotional service, and we can authorize Vaidhi Bhakti. And Asirvad given by Guru and Vaishnavas. Now we have been initiated. Now inside, after coming into this whole process room, a room is there where everybody is getting perfected and going out. So this whole room, in this process room, we have to now understand that what other principle we have to follow. Atyahara, again, not eating more than necessary. In beginning, devotees, those who become devotee in the beginning, so they do atyahara because they have given up the material food items, and the spiritual food items are very tasty, and they have to eat nothing if it is not offered. So then they eat like many pastimes are there where devotees have eaten a bucket of halwa in foreign country. They've eaten bucket of halwa, and then their stomach was tore apart and then taken out that bucket of halwa. This story is also there. So earlier times it was like that, the very fanatic about process, that devotees have sometimes taken holy name so seriously, then chanted 64 rounds, then they were told, it is not meant for you, you just chant 16 then. So sometimes atyahar goes in many ways. Atyahar means extreme, and ahar means ahar can be for mouth, can for eyes, for ears. Ahar can be for anything. So atyahara prayasascha, again, not endeavoring too much materially. Whatever comes by one's accord, and at least some endeavor has to be there, but not more than one's capacity or going into the ugra karma zone. Ugra karma nahi karna hai. over endeavor not required actually. So these things are there. We will be reading in NOI. So not accepting more than requires for maintenance of body. And then Vacho Begam, Manasa Krodha Begam, Jihva Begam, that also. One should not falsely identify himself with the gross body, nor should one consider who is related to the body to be his own. This is also important. Many times, as you practice more, means this kind of anartha may also incur. Means we start thinking about our body more, because as the age progresses, the body starts giving signal. So again, we have to balance everything with knowledge of Krishna consciousness. I have heard from some even seniors also that sometimes they become very conscious about body, that they say that Krishna consciousness could not help us. But we should be, we should balance this everything with the knowledge from beginning. Okay, if we have some problem with the body, continue doing exercise, do exercise, go to the proper doctor, do the endeavor, no issue. And even after doing endeavor, nothing happens, then understand what can be done. Nothing can be done. Then depend upon Krishna. So one should not falsely identify with the gross body, and nor one should consider who are related to his body to be own. Okay, Indian, Pakistan, American, this kind of designation, or this is my family, or this is other family. So then this kind of affection and attachments are there. So one has to balance, moderate it only for proper, means if something like Srila Prabhupada used to say, you Americans, you're so intelligent, so hardworking. If you don't do this thing for Krishna, what is the use of you being American? Like Prabhupada wanted to have a pandal in Mumbai. So he said, you Americans, you have come for, you are the highest nation, biggest nation. You, if you don't do something big, what is the use of being you called as American? So then Prabhupada used their identity for spiritual purpose. In a similar way, we are connected to one or other person so that we can bring them to Krishna consciousness. Help them some way to come to Krishna. But simply attachment to body with no understanding how they are growing in spiritual life, and we also do not know why we are becoming attached to them. So then this is not good actually. One should always remember that as long as he has material body, he must face the miseries of repeated birth, death, old age and disease, death. There is no use in making plans to get rid of these miseries of material body. The best course is to find out the means by which one may regain his spiritual identity. So, Janma Mrityu Jara Vyadhi Dukkha Doshanu Darshanam. One should not be attached to more than the necessities of the life required for spiritual advancement. So we should not be attached to necessities of life required more than the spiritual advancement. We need food, clothing, center. Now, here the word is used attached. It means everyone is attached to something. But what we should be attached? We should be attached to something for our seva. Okay, this is helping me in doing my seva to Lord, so I am attached to it right now. And slowly, we can give it up also, possible when we become more advanced. But one should not be attached to more than necessities of life. Like some people, they may purchase, like household, they may purchase some 3 BHK, 4 BHK or whatever. Then some families, they want to live very simple. One sofa, and then one desk, and then beds. But some families, they say, okay, we have purchased such a big house, now we have to fill it up. So now purchase so many other commodities to fill it up, to show others. So then it becomes extra necessities actually, just to show off others. So I don't mean to say that rich and poor both have to live in a similar way. No, rich, surely they have to maintain certain status quo in the society, and poor already maintain. Unka jitna hai utna, usse zyada milta hi nahi. So then the rich should not go try to do atyahar in their terms, and the poor also should not try to do atyahar in their terms. Like we called one cook for cooking. So then he said, book my ticket in third AC. I said, Arey, why I should book your ticket? What is the salary? Arey, you are getting 15,000 or 10,000 salary and we will book your ticket in third AC. Why? When money is coming from my pocket, you want to spend me for 2,000. And when money is coming, I told I will book your ticket, but I will cut your money and book. Are you agreed? He said, no. बोला गर्मी बहुत हो रहा है. मैंने बोला गर्मी, I can travel in sleeper. I have no issue. And you are getting 10-15,000 salary and you want third AC ticket. अरे जितना चादर है उतना पैर फैलाओ ना. इतना आजकल के लोगों का सबसे दिमाग का प्रॉब्लम यही है. पहले के लोगों का प्रॉब्लम नहीं था. जितना हमारी औकात है उतना ही हमें कार्य करना चाहिए. उतना एक्सपेक्टेशन होना चाहिए हमारा. और थर्ड एसी में क्यों टिकट चाहिए? आजकल लोग देखा देखी, मेरे को वो भी थर्ड एसी में जा रहा है, मैं भी थर्ड एसी में जाऊंगा. क्यों जाना है? I again does not mean to say that when connected, if you have money, spend. But if you don't have, others are spending for you, then okay, give money. So then we should be careful about it. One should not be attached to wife, children, home, then reveal the scripture ordained. Srila Prabhupada says in Bhagavad Gita, like if they are helping us in our Krishna consciousness, one should be affectionate, but not attached. Affectionate means providing for the food, clothing, shelter to them also, taking care of their needs, emotions, relationship, everything. But purpose should be there. Like Ved Vadratas, what is the purpose lost? They are simply chanting the mantras nicely, but purpose is lost. So purpose means the husband should be attached to Guru, the wife should be attached to husband, the children should be attached to mother and father, following the instructions. In this way, the family should be advancing, going upwards. So it's not that like one person came and then he said he was worshipping Jagannath. He was offering bhoga to Jagannath. Then he came and told, I want to give my Jagannath to somebody else. I said, why? Well, my wife does not want him to be worshipped. He says, you are worshipping him, I have to cook for him, and you are offering bhoga. So give it away, this Jagannath. So I said, then he said that I have to keep my family together, so I have to give away Jagannath. I said, okay, do whatever you want to do. Okay. So before bringing the Jagannath, you could have thought, na? After bringing Jagannath, you want to send him back. But then such kind of complexity comes. Actually, some adjustment can be done. Okay, 3 time एक time भोग लगाएंगे. We'll put bhoga. Let us begin with that. Some agreement can be done. Okay, not 3 times, at least 1 time. Now he will not eat only prasad. He sent away Jagannath. No worship of Jagannath, no serving of Jagannath. Then he will not be devotee only. So such things should not be happened, actually. Otherwise, what is the use of family life? Family life means to practice dharma, not to cultivate sense gratification. Then it's avidya upasate. Family life is to be together and do dharma. Yes, that is why we are together. So therefore, it's mentioned, don't become attached to wife. And at a certain time, one has to take banprastha and sannyas as guided by Gurudev. One should not be happy or distressed over desirable, undesirable. I don't like this service. I like that service again. So one can have likeness and dislikeness again, but you cannot, like a grown-up child, he can say to father, I don't like this, I like this. So father will accept. But a small child say, Papa, I like samosa. Papa, I like fruity. Papa will say, I like slapping you. You should not eat this thing. You should eat what is ordained by mother and father. So for a small child, likeness and dislikeness are not given too much. Just what is given to him, he should accept. For a grown-up child, he will not ask something which is not good for him. So those who are very advanced in the service of the Lord, they also have likeness and dislikeness. But here it is said, one should not be happy or distressed over desirable, undesirable. Many times, this is said that if something desirable comes in my life, I will serve the Lord. If undesirable comes, I will leave the service. ये नहीं होना चाहिए. Because such feelings are simply created by mind. Oh, I don't like this. I don't like to do this seva because this person is there or these problems will come. No, you try it once, twice, thrice. You try it, and then you may see some changes in your mind. Like one time, like we had gone to working in Mumbai. So then there was Jagannath worship, and we were doing job. So then I told to the center, Mumbai center, I told them that you are all simply worshipping, not reading scriptures. What are you doing? You should read scripture. You are all working people. You should also read scriptures. And I was not doing worship. So then they took the point to the authority. And the authority said, now this person who is speaking to all of you, he will now do worship. So then I was thinking, I should read scripture. But then I saw Jagannath really helped me to worship him. Now I was coming from job and then worshipping Jagannath in the evening. At least for 3 days, they put me into worship. So then earlier I was thinking all day I will simply study. But see how the Lord corrected us. So sometimes we have something in our mind desirable. I will not do this seva. I will do this seva. You go to the authority. He will clear up everything. He will tell, chal, chodo, ye chalo, chalu karo. So this is the benefit of being in a session of devotees. They guide us. They correct us. They improve us. One should become unalloyed devotee of personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna, and serve him with rapt attention. This is the most important. Acharya. This is one should become unalloyed devotee. Means, what is that? Okay, I'm not remembering the word. So one should become unalloyed. This is the goal of education, goal of all knowledge, that one should become pure devotee of the Lord and serve him with rapt attention. 17, one should develop a liking for residence in a secluded place with a calm and quiet atmosphere favorable for spiritual culture, and one should avoid congested places where non-devotees congregate. Again, it does not mean give up devotee association, go to Radha Kund, start chanting 64 rounds. This is not recommended. Srila Prabhupada at his times, he very much, you can say, chastised devotees for this. Somebody left Vrindavan temple, went to Radha Kund chanting. Prabhupada said, what is nonsense? What does he know about Radha and Radha Kund? He has to first serve a spiritual master. Without a spiritual master order, everything is nonsense. So then, it means basically one should not live in the association of asat people. Those who are karmis, or those who are mayavadis, jnanis. We should not live in those associations. We should live with the devotees. And at the same time, if sometime we have to do our sadhana and there's so many devotees are there, so then we can seclude out some place and we can chant our rounds, or take 1-2 devotees and then chant. Everybody has certain understanding and experience that when we chant with devotees, it has different effect. When we chant alone, even though you are chanting in a very natural place, it has different effect. Chanting with the devotees in the temple, it is really very nice. Sometimes the breathing problem, maybe there will be a lot of devotees are there. But even though if we can solve that problem, then chanting with the devotee is so nice. But chanting outside with oneself, it is not very much recommended. So those who are advanced devotees, those who give sangha to others, they can chant, or they also like to associate with devotee. Like Dhruv Maharaj wants to associate with the other devotee. He says, Bhakti Muhu Pravata Toime Prasangai. I want to associate with your devotees. Great devotees. Satam Prasangalma Veer Samvido. Kapil Muni says, this is what the devotees, they congregate with each other and they practice bhakti. The devotees means they come together. So, yes, one should become a scientist or philosopher and conduct research into spiritual knowledge, recognizing that spiritual knowledge is permanent, whereas material knowledge ends with the death of the body. So one should become japa scientist, or one should become a spiritual scientist. Philosopher, scientist, it means what? One has to research into spiritual knowledge. Many times devotees spend a lot of time reading books of Prabhupada, other acharyas. Why? They want to become a spiritual scientist. Because matter simply attracts us for impermanent, and which is lower in nature, incompatible. But spirit attracts us for eternity, for eternal happiness, for eternal seva. So that is why we want to know about that spiritual knowledge more and more. Otherwise, we find people till the age of 40, they are doing PhD in colleges, universities. 40 या 45 तक भी लोग पढ़ाई करते रहते हैं और बोलते हैं I am Visarad in this subject. What you are Visarad in this subject, but this is all material. What about spiritual knowledge? No knowledge. So it means we have a tendency to study. We have tendency to know. Now that tendency has to be engaged in spiritual science. Yes. Okay. Now we'll be going ahead. Yes. Madhav Harinam Prabhuji, can you read from here? Culture of science. Yes.
Yes, Prabhuji. Krishna. These 18 items combine to form a gradual process by which real knowledge can be developed. Except for these, all other methods are considered to be in the category of nations. Srila Bhaktivinoda Thakur, a great Acharya, maintained that all forms of material knowledge are merely external features of the illusory energy, and that by culturing them, one becomes no better than an ass. This same principle is found here in Sri Ishopanishad. By advancement of material knowledge, modern man is simply being converted into an ass. Some materialistic politicians in spiritual guise decry the present system of civilization as satanic. But unfortunately, they do not care about the culture of real knowledge as it is described in the Bhagavad Gita. Thus, they cannot change the satanic situation.
So these 18 items combine to form gradual process by which real knowledge can be developed. So real knowledge, we are going to know that that is a pure devotion service, that is transcendental knowledge. So that is given by the Lord. Swayam eva sprut adaha. When Lord is pleased with our service, with our commitment, with our following of religious principles, we are doing right now Vaidhi Bhakti. Vaidhi Bhakti is a practicing phase. When we will advance to the Raga Nuga and then Bhav Bhakti, Prem Bhakti. So that time, the pure knowledge, transcendental knowledge will be revealed. Right now, we are in practicing phase. But without going to airport, one cannot fly. One has to go to the airport. So the 18 items of knowledge, we have to establish in ourselves actually. Then slowly will be perfect. Now, Prabhupada mentions also that Jada Vidya Maya Vaibhava, Tomare Bhajane Badha, Anitya Sansare Moha Janmiya, Jivere Kare Gadha. This is what Bhaktivinoda Thakur sings. Jivere Kare Gadha. जीव को गधा बना देता है. So our modern civilization is basically civilization which is converting human beings into gadha. As means he simply works hard for sense gratification. He has no other goal of life. And Prabhupada mentions that there are some politicians, basically he is mentioning about Gandhiji here, means he was saintly person, he carried Bhagavad Gita, but he was also knowing that this whole is satanic, people are fighting among each other, this is all wrong, but he did not know how to solve the problem. Such people cannot help. There are many freedom fighters. They were thinking that they were having good understanding of morality, we should not fight, and this whole civilization is simply creating disunity among humans. So they wanted to unite, but on what principle they will unite? They did not know the knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So they may carry Bhagavad Gita, but did not know. Okay. Dr. Prerna Mataji, can you read?
Sorry, Prabhu, I got a call. From where I have to read?
From here. Ill effects of material knowledge.
Yes, Prabhuji. In the modern society, even a boy thinks himself self-sufficient and pays no respect to elderly men due to the wrong type of education being imputed in our due to the wrong type of education being imparted in our universities. Boys all over the world are giving their elders headache. Thus, Sri Ishopanishad very strongly warns that the culture of nations is different from that of knowledge. The universities are, so to speak, centers of nations only. Consequently, scientists are busy discovering lethal weapons to wipe out the existence of the other countries. University students today are not given instructions in the regulative principles of Brahmacharya, that means celibate student life, nor do they have any faith in any scriptural injunctions. Religious principles are taught for the sake of name and fame only and not after the sake of practical action. Thus, there is animosity not only in the social and political fields, but in the field of religion as well.
Okay. So now this is speaking about ill effects of material knowledge, avidya. So they are giving headaches. Who? Boys. Why? We know more than you, Dadaji or Papa. You are not educated. I am BA, MA, or I am BTech, MTech, or I have done MBBS or many other degrees. I am educated and you are not educated. You do not know how to live a life. So these people, they don't listen to the elderly people. Prabhupada is mentioning very practical thing, which he had seen in the changes in the society. Like earlier Prabhupada used to say that young boy, when they used to smoke in front of Dadaji, they used to feel little inconvenience, means, okay, hesitation. How can I smoke in front of Dadaji? But now, Dadaji alag, Papa, no problem, smoking, going on. Recently, we had gone for Rath Yatra. We went to SP College. There we saw boys and girls, these are 12th class boy, and he's catching the hairs of girl. I was thinking, Baba, he okay? And two girls are asking from behind, hey, come here. What is this culture? And nobody is there to stop these people. How they can do all these things openly? किसी का डर नहीं किसी को. ये culture है क्या? Is this a culture? So Rupa here says, Sri Ishopanishad very strongly warns that the culture of nescience is different from that culture of knowledge. Okay, these people are doing in the common society. Now, what are those? Now, universities are not taught about the, again, celibate life. Celibate life, they forget. Yeah? Nobody wants to learn. Then religious principles are taught only for name and sake. Okay, schools, oh, you come, you teach values. What values? They will not follow values. Values are there with scriptures. And if we teach scriptures, scriptures will give them process to follow, to live, to come to temple, to learn from devotees, to hear from them. They don't want to do. Otherwise, the school will be closed. So then, just for namesake, give some name that our school also has this kind of education, that kind of education. So only for the name and sake, some religious principle people follow. Like children are taught that before exam you should worship God, or you should read Hanuman Chalisa. See, these in the homes, many homes in India, at least India is better than out west. West pata nahi kya hota hai. I do not know. Indian, at least they are reading some Hanuman, some Ram, because Haridas Thakur, the discussion between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Haridas Thakur. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu asked how the people of Kali Yuga will be delivered. Then Haridas said, Haridas Thakur, just because, my Lord, you do not worry, your name is so potent. If somebody is chanting, Muslim is chanting Haram, he will be delivered because Ram is there. So in India, all the names, Hanuman, Ram, at least these people are chanting. So they are fortunate that much. Prabhupada used to say India is already Krishna conscious country, but they have forgotten the whole systematic way of practicing it. And they have been misled by the political leaders and businessmen, other countries also. Otherwise, India, in their bloods, this bhakti is there, Krishna consciousness is there. Prabhupada says, whenever we open temple, people start circumambulating. They start saying, "Arey, इधर मंदिर बनाया, चलो चलो इधर घूमना चालू करो, प्रदक्षिणा चालू." किसी ने सिखाया नहीं उसको. भगवान का मंदिर है, घूमना चालू, माथा टेकना, फ्लावर लाना, है ना? This is there. In India, it is there. But now it has to be guided properly. Otherwise, the next generation will take it like a superstition, simply some following blind faith. Blind faith people are having, and they are doing circumambulation. So they want tell me the theory why we should circumambulate. Then we have to tell, oh, because your blood pressure will not grow high, your health will be fine. And when you go around, so then some chakra, some energy chakra, we have to tell them. Because this kind of philosophy, when we preach to them, then I will circumambulate around the Lord. They don't want to hear direct truth, that by circumambulating you will be free from repetition of birth and death. What is repetition of birth and death? They don't know. So this is there. So now people want to be convinced in a scientific way. And that scientific means avidya only. We have to convince them in that way. Your body will be healthy, you will be feeling nice, and you will have less problem in your life, like that. Okay, next, Arun Prabhu, can you read avidya?
Yes, please. Third, avidya, ignorance in the garb of knowledge. Nationalism has developed in different parts of the world due to the cultivation of nations by the general people. No one considers that this tiny earth is just a lump of matter floating in immeasurable space along with many other lumps. In comparison to the vastness of space, these material lumps are like dust particles in the air. Because God has kindly made these lumps of matter complete in themselves, they are perfectly equipped with all necessities for floating in space. The drivers of our spaceships may be very proud of their achievements, but they do not consider the supreme driver of these greater, more gigantic spaceships called planets.
Yes, continue it.
Okay, fourth, avidya leads to domination, demarcation, frustration, and false pride. There are innumerable suns and innumerable planetary systems also. As infinitesimal parts and parcels of the Supreme Lord, we small creatures are trying to dominate these unlimited planets. Thus we take repeated birth and death, and are generally frustrated by old age and disease. The span of human life is scheduled for about 100 years, although it is gradually decreasing to 20 or 30 years. Thanks to the culture of nations, befooled men have created their own nations within these planets in order to grasp system's enjoyment more effectively for these few years. Such foolish people draw up Paris plans to render national demarcations perfectly, a task that is totally impossible. Yet for this purpose, each and every nation has become a source of anxiety for others. More than 50% of a nation's energy is devoted to defense measures and thus spoils. No one cares for the cultivation of real knowledge, yet people are falsely proud of being advanced in both material and spiritual knowledge.
Okay. Now, here nationalism is also result of avidyam upasate. The avidya, if somebody is cultivating avidya, this nationalism has also come because of that. Earlier nationalism was not there. It was there, but it was not only nationalism. It was whole world. Emperor of whole world. Okay, Ayodhya was there for Lord Ram. But Lord Ram also performed Aswamedh Yajna. So then he sent the horse throughout the world. He was residing there, but the whole world he was ruling. So national means, Srila Prabhupada mentioned, national means even animals who are born in that land, they are also national. Why only humans are national? So why we are killing animals? So national also means, national does not mean my country. National means basically the whole world actually. So this nationalism, the demarcation of land, ye mera hai, wo tera hai. This again, mera tera, moha, mahamoha. This kind of thought process have been developed because of avidya. Therefore, we are finding the scientists in India, they are developing their bomb, and in America they are developing their bomb. In Australia they are developing their bomb. Yeah, who is? You please unmute, mute yourself. So they are developing their. So they want to kill each other. So Prabhupada is saying this simply, what is this planet? Simply lump of matter floating, and you are just caring for that planet, a small portion, and you want to make that place as much happy as it can be for some 30-40 years. 30-40 साल के लिए सुखी रहने के लिए तुम इतना परिश्रम कर रहे हो. So this is again because of avidya. So this nationalism, Prabhupada again, you should say, is a avidya basically. One has right to protect the nation, but again, one has no right to prepare for killing others. Killing whom? Is all country members in America or all country members in Australia, they are sinful people, or they are ungod conscious, or they are irreligious, and we are so much religious that we want to kill them? No. So then why we want to kill? Because if they go against us, then we'll kill them. Again, it's a simply political. Prabhupada used to say, this all fight among countries because of political issues. It's not that people want fight, but politics are, the political people are there. They sometimes agitate the people against other country. And other countrymen do not know only. They're simply doing their normal business. And then they come to know that our country has become an enemy of some other country. Now we have to fight. And what is this fighting? So like that, actually. You never find in the previous times the citizens fighting. Like kings fighting, you must have seen. Kings are fighting. Okay, kings fighting, one defeating other army, then other comes and start ruling. Now whole citizens, sometimes America, they catching the citizens and making them, filling them into army. Okay, chalo army mein chalo, hamara bahut kam army hai, we come, we start fighting. So this nationalism, Prabhupada say 50% of nation's energy is devoted to defense measures. It means 50% हमारा energy defense create करने में जा रहा है. Just so much fear, and with that energy also you are not sure you will be protected. All the time fear is there. Okay, now Prabhupada will say, Shri Ishopanishad warns us of this faulty type of education and Bhagavad Gita instructions as to development of the real knowledge. This mantra states that the instructions of Vidya, knowledge, must be acquired from Dhira. A Dhira is one who is not disturbed by material illusion. No one can be undisturbed unless he is perfectly spiritually realized, at which time one neither hankers nor laments for anything. What is that? Brahma Bhuta Prasannatma na sochati na kamshati. A Dhira realizes that material body, mind, he has acquired by chance through material association, but are the foreign elements. And then he has to simply make the best use of bad bargain. The material body and the mind are the bad bargain for the spiritual living entity. The living entity has actual functions in the living spiritual world, but this material world is dead. As long as the living spiritual spark manipulates the dead lump of matter, the dead world appears to be living world. Actually, it is a living soul, the part and parcel of the supreme living being who moves the world. The Dhiras have come to know all these facts by hearing them from superior authorities and have realized this knowledge by following the regulative principles. So Prabhupada mentioned that Dhira means not disturbed by any material illusion. That this is mine, that this is yours. Or I am Brahmana, I am Kshatriya. These all designations are important given in the Shastras, but these are not the ultimate things. The purpose is different. So Dhira knows the purpose. The purpose is to unite everyone on the spiritual level. Ekatvam anupashyati. So how to do that? By making demarcation in the countries. Okay, ye mera country. No, this is not the right way. By making people God conscious. And also knowing the nature of this material world. What is the nature of material world? Prabhupada says that we are manipulating the matter actually. Matter is not living. Matter is always dead. So we have different world to live. We don't have to live here. Every one of us want to live, but then one has to make decision that we can be living happily here, but we should prepare for going back to Godhead also simultaneously. That is the whole plan. Okay. To follow the regulative principle, one must take shelter of bona fide spiritual master. The transcendental message and regulative principle come down from the spiritual master to the disciple. Such knowledge does not come in the hazardous way of nascent education. One can become a Dhira only by submissively hearing from a bona fide spiritual master. Submissive oral reception, we call it. Submissive oral reception. You receive the words of the Vedas or Bhagavatam or scriptures in a submissive way. Reception, like we receive some guest. Submissive oral reception from bona fide spiritual master. Arjuna, for example, became a Dhira by submissively hearing from Lord Krishna. the personality of Godhead himself. Thus, the perfect disciple must be like Arjuna, and the spiritual master must be as good as Lord himself. This is the process of learning Vidya from Dhira, the undisturbed. So, the knowledge which we learned, the result of the knowledge, 18 items, that will come into our character and in our system, that knowledge, it will turn into that all things. When we hear and keep on hearing, not hearing does not mean keep only heard once and then left. No, keep on hearing in Guru Sadhu Parampara, Guru Sadhu Shastra, we say. So in Guru Parampara or Guru Sadhu Parampara, we have to hear actually. Hearing from the devotees, realized souls, spiritual master, then this will bring about change in us. And then we'll be able to follow the culture of Vidya very nicely. We also have problems. Our senses are also not fully controlled. So we have to keep on hearing. See, the process is mentioned is hearing. Process of learning from Dhira. So what is the process? Hear submissively. When we hear, then the things will come up. Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya. So by hearing Bhagavatam every day, abhadras get cleansed up. Abhadras are the main problems, and these abhadras only misdirect us to follow the culture of avidya. So when we chant the holy name, when we hear Bhagavatam, when we live with the devotees, when we serve Srila Prabhupada Acharya, that is also Bhagavat Seva. So then these things are the process of bhakti which help us to overcome illusion, which Prabhupada says the Dhira are not in illusion. So we will also become Dhira, like Arjuna became Dhira, means control in mind and senses, and is beyond the bodily platform. He does not hanker, does not lament, he does not get into illusion. And then by hearing from this Dhira, we become Dhira, then these problems don't exist actually in the world. Adhira and Adhira, one who has not undergone the training of Adhira, cannot be instructive leader. Prabhupada says that modern politicians, one cannot expect perfect knowledge from them. They are simply busy seeing their own remuneration in dollars and cents. How then can they lead the mass of people to the right path of self-realization? Thus, one must submissively hear submissively from a Dhira in order to attain actual knowledge. It is a very great thing what Prabhupada is teaching us here. Very important and great. Because the whole education, what is going on outside, all adhiras, or they have no dhira, at least spiritual master, they have no such process of learning and getting trained. But these people are passing as teachers, and they are teaching many students, and these students are coming out and they are causing a lot of problems, as we have seen here. They are becoming nationalists, some are becoming economists, some are becoming students who don't pay heed to their elders, and some are false religionists. So everybody is joining to some category of ignorance or avidya, because they are taught by people who are not dhira, and this is how the whole civilization is going ahead. Therefore, for any educator, like it was said, na pitana sasya jananina sasya, Guru Nasasya, na mochayeda samupayetu mrityum. If somebody is not able to deliver, one's dependent from this cycle of birth and death, one should not become Guru, one should not become Mata, Pita, and Devata, one should not become. Okay, any question? This chapter we have completed. Any question? Yes, Arun.
My question is to once I met a PhD scholar. So he was doing PhD on philosophy, and the topic was the teleological approach to God. So Radheshyam Prabhuji also, his first device is there that he says there are different approaches to God, and one of the approaches teleological, where we understand the reason and then the main root of the reason to understand God. So we were discussing, and then he asked me that in the first hand, what is the need to understand God, or what is the need to consider God? So of course we had a discussion and I answered him. But then just I wanted to know, like from your point of view, that how to answer this question, that we are human beings and there are many species, so they are living in their own way. So for human beings especially, that what is the need to have God? And this question again arose, like you said today in today's class, that religion is not meant for fighting, but to understand that we all are children of God, and that what is my quota. So here this same question, that is there the need to understand God is only because that we are united, or we become united when we take God as a center. So this was his question overall. So how to answer this in a proper way, in a Shastric way?
The material religion is meant for maintaining peace in the human society. Dharma, artha, kam, moksha. This can maintain peace. Even though it is called Kaitav Dharma in Bhagavatam, because it does not direct itself to the highest principle of surrender to the Lord or becoming his lover. Therefore, the Pancham Purushartha, Prema Pumartho Mahan, which Chaitanya Mahaprabhu preached. So Bhagavatam, Dharma, Artha, Kam, Moksha is already kicked from beginning, kicked out from Bhagavatam. So then why it is mentioned in the Vedic literature? It is also important, Apara Dharma. It is important to maintain peace, because unless people follow the basic rules and regulations that God is a superior, he is a proprietor of everything. See, Ishopanishad, again, I mean to say, it's a transitional literature. It is taking from Karma Kanda level, where people were worshipping demigods. And now Ishopanishad is introducing them to absolute truth. Now the whole process, Ishopanishad will not explain how to serve the absolute truth. It will simply speak in the terms of knowledge. Now, when you go to Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, they will explain the process of serving that absolute truth and then getting out of this material world. So these Vedic literatures, Ishopanishad or the Vedas, they are mentioning about these things. What are Vidya, Avidya, what are Dharma? So Dharma ultimately is to follow the Supreme Personality of Godhead. To understand that he is my ultimate well-wisher. Why we have come from a spiritual world? That because we have disobeyed him. Ishopanishad says, like in the second chapter, we came to know that deliberate disobedience to the God is called sin. So then Prabhupada said one should work in such a way that one should be recognized by the Lord. Okay, now he is becoming devotee. I should protect him. Now I should help him. I should bring him back to myself. So Dharma ultimately is trying to bring us closer to the Lord and send us from here to spiritual world. That is the ultimate purpose of Dharma. But here also we have to live peacefully. So then Pati Dharma, Patni Dharma, Guru Dharma, Sisya Dharma, Varnashram mentions all this kind of Dharma. This also is important to be followed. But we should not simply remain here saying, okay, I am following nice Dharma of a husband or wife or a student or teacher. It is enough. This is too much for me. Now my goal of following this Dharma is to enjoy in this world. Then that is condemned. Goal of following this Dharma is to make us, like I said, that bring us to the airport so that we can fly by sitting in airplane. So spiritual life also requires certain qualification from us, that we should be pure enough to practice spiritual life. If we are breaking regulative principle every day, then how spiritual life can help us? Cannot help. So then these are actually the four principles. There's four regulative principles. These are what? These are basically Varnashram principle only. These have nothing to do with bhakti. But before practicing bhakti, one has to come to that stage so that he can practice properly. So anybody who's questioning about God, he has to understand, he has to follow certain rules and regulations. Either he follows this temporary, these dharmas of this world and becomes situated to the morality standard and goodness standard. And then again, in that also there is some worship of gods are there. And then slowly he takes to Krishna consciousness. That is the way. Or you directly take to Krishna consciousness, then Krishna consciousness also establishes us quickly into this stage of goodness, and also gives us knowledge and practice about transcendence. This is the whole purpose of Dharma. Dharmam to Sakshat Bhagavad Pranitam. Dharma is to bring, is spoken by God, Dharma, and it has to bring people from animalistic to human platform, from human to Atma platform, and engaging into the service of Atma. What is the service of Atma? To serve Lord. So that is the whole process of dharma. The dharma is to pick humans from animal standard to human, then human to transcendence. Okay.
Guruji, as his question was that in the first place, why do we need to study or why do we need to discuss about God? So, like in one sentence, we can answer that because without it, anyway, you whatever you are trying to achieve, you will not do. First thing, and the best way to process is to understand God because He is supreme, He is ultimate. Can we speak
Correct.
like this?
Yes, yes. Why not? Moga asa, moga karmano, moga vichetasaha. Krishna says, those who don't take me as authority, they deride me, they say there is no God, there's no need to follow God. So such kind of people, moga asha, all their ashas are finished. Moga karmano, all their fruitive actions, whatever result they want from fruitive action, finished. Kuch nahi hoga uska. So then we may say that how the scientists are getting all the benefits, this thing, that thing. Actually, these people, see, we should understand one very important thing. Like these atheist people, how they are getting their results. Result means they are developing something very detrimental. Like Hiranyakashipu, if you worship Brahma, then Brahma will give some benediction to him. Okay, you have this benediction, you will kill so many people. You will rule over the whole three world. He has power. Yes, but ultimately dharma says what is the ultimate goal? Means for humans also he wants to be happy, na? He wants to be peaceful. He wants to be satisfied. But these things he will not never attain. His karma will never bring him happiness. He will always be agitated, greedy, lusty, angry. So even though he will be achieving a lot, but these things will not come in him because these things are benefit or a benediction given by dharma. By following regulatory principle. Dharma rakshati rakshata. Krishna says in the 10th canto to Brahmana who brought the news from Rukmani, that Rukmani wanted Krishna to kidnap her. So then Krishna says to that Brahmana, Ki Brahmana, I worship such Brahmana who are satisfied, swalabha, santushtan. Those who are happy with whatever comes in their life. So that Brahmana, I repeatedly offer my obeisances to them because by following these regulatory principle of Brahminical life, that regulatory principle will give him happiness, satisfaction, and success. So people have defined success in many ways. If I get a lot of wealth, I will be successful. But that is not success. That wealth should bring happiness for you. That wealth should bring good family for you. That wealth should bring a goal or a future growth for you in spiritual life. Then that wealth is useful. Otherwise, Ravana also had a lot of wealth, but he was killed ultimately. And he thought that I was successful. Success means what? We have to see success in a dharmic way. So if people consider I can kill people by worshipping Hitler or by worshipping some other whatever, so he can be successful. I don't say that he can, like Aswathama, he killed one Akshuni Sena by worshipping Lord Shiva. Yes, Aswathama, Kritavarma, all they came and killed. So then he worshipped demigod and he got the power. So I don't say that you will not become powerful, but you will not be powerful to do something good. You will not have satisfaction in your life. You will not have happiness in your life. You will have everything, but not happiness, no satisfaction, and no future spiritual goal. You will degrade. Finish. So like this.
Thank you for the nice view, Prabhuji. Can you give the can you please give the reference of this when Krishna says, I worship those Brahmanas who are satisfied, if you remember? Or
I will tell. It's going to come in next discussion. It will come. I will give. Yes, Prabhuji. Hars Prasannatma.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Prabhuji, my question is, this avidya and vidya are defined differently in sloka number 9, 10, and 11. For example, like in sloka 9, vidya means material knowledge for sense gratification, and same material knowledge for sense gratification is described as avidya in sloka number 10. So how to understand this, how to reconcile this? Same avidya and vidya terms are defined differently.
Actually, I told in the beginning, of class only. I showed that PPT. Avidya and Vidya, which are spoken in Mantra 9, Avidya there mentions those who are foolishly going for sense gratification. In pursuit of sense gratification, they are foolishly running. So they have no knowledge. Avidya means normal, okay? Normal avidya, किसी को कोई knowledge नहीं है, ignorant totally. Okay? Now, those who are helping them, telling you are doing very nice sense gratification. Now I will develop technology for you so that you can enjoy more. So these people will develop some technology with materialistic knowledge. Okay? So then their knowledge is called Vidya here, so-called Vidya. Okay?
Yes.
अविद्या मीन्स फुली इग्नोरेंट, कोई उसने कॉलेज में पढ़ाई नहीं की है, एकदम वो क्या बोलते हैं अंगूठा छाप है. और ये कौन है, दूसरा साइंटिस्ट है, सेकंड है साइंटिस्ट with all degrees. So then he will help him to enjoy more. So then both will go to hell or in darker ignorance, but the scientist will go to more darker ignorance. So this is one thing. Second thing, so okay, avidya, we understood avidya is fully foolish, and then vidya means one who is helping these people to enjoy with materialistic knowledge. Now second thing we come, vidyayam rataha. So there comes who? There comes the vedavad rata and maya aparta jnana. So these people, so they are worshippers of or they are engaged in the vidya, but this vidya, they have no purpose of approaching Supreme Lord. They have purpose to enjoy only, or call themselves as God. Maya Pratyana, they will call themselves as God, make others God. Or Vedvadarata, they will say that ultimate goal of life is to go to heaven and enjoy there. Like these Muslims, they say, if I go to jihad, I will enjoy 71 virgins in the heaven. So that is their goal of life. Just imagine. So such kind of people, they are all so-called Vidya, so-called Vidya. Okay, this is 9th sloka, our mantra. Then 10th comes. 10th is comparing the result of Vidya and Avidya. Now here, the Avidya means this whole, either you follow Vedavadarata, Maya Pirtagyana, or you follow this materialistic knowledge. All you combine here, what will be the result here? And then Vidya is spiritual knowledge. That is the 10th sloka. Then 11th comes the materialistic knowledge which is needed for our life, Varnashram Dharma. And then Vidya means spiritual knowledge. So we should be utilizing materialistic knowledge to live in a dharmic way, in a regulated way. As we just now learned that some principles, don't you be attached to something more than your necessities for your spiritual life. Don't become too much attached. But then we have to use something in our life. So that Vidya you require. But that Vidya is coming from material Maya. So therefore we call it Avidya. Okay?
Yes,
See, Avidya can be misutilized for sense gratification. That is condemned. Avidya should be utilized for ultimately living happily here, and Avidya should be balanced with Vidya of going spiritual home, back to body. That is glorified in the 11th. And the whole Vidya is basically spiritual knowledge only. And the so-called Vidya means materialistic knowledge, trying to invent many technology, or Vedic knowledge, trying to go to heaven. These are called so-called Vidya. But they are Avidya only in one sense. They are Avidya only, but so-called Vidya. So don't get confused. I hope you are understanding.
Yes, thank you.
This okay. Okay. Madhav Harinam Prabhu, yes.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. Thank you, Prabhuji, for class. I just want to know that if we think that knowledge in terms of happiness, that by following God and following these 18 principles and cultivating knowledge, we will be happy. So there are also some person who are materially advanced. And they don't follow God, but they do good to others. And they think that we are satisfied. We are helping poor, we are helping other, and they have the genuine sentiment for them also. So how then it becomes avidya, or it is not? It is not proper that he is not God conscious. Then also he is happy like this.
These things actually are going to come in future slokas. Worshipping or helping other being without God consciousness. It is going, all these things are properly discussed. These are all avidya. Avidya means this only, Prabhupada mentions that forgetting Ishavasyam is avidya. When therefore the whole this Ishopanishad is beginning with Ishavasyam. You should not forget God in any of your activity. See, this is very much fundamental to even ISKCON devotees also, because our spiritual master also says what? Keep Krishna in the center. Many times in our services, day-to-day services, when we forget Krishna and we just keep on doing service also. So then we also feel, oh, I did not take darshan today. I did not chant it properly today. Oh, I did not worship Lord today properly. So we also feel some kind of unhappiness or some kind of unrelishment. We could not relish Krishna consciousness properly. So this is the truth, that we have to become very like unconditionally dependent on the Lord. Unconditional means you cannot say, I had this thing, so I did not come for you. No, unconditionally dependent on the Lord. So right now we are covered by material things, so we have many duties. But all these duties make us realize that we are forgetting Krishna. You are forgetting Krishna. Go back to Krishna. Go back to Krishna. Otherwise, happiness will not be there. So these things are going to come, that anything without God consciousness cannot be successful. It will simply lead to avidya. It will simply lead to avidya. Therefore, Srila Prabhupada said the whole world's problem can be solved by God consciousness, not through any other way. So this is what we are learning. Any school, university, country, if they have to really find solution for their problems, they have to start training themselves, those who are leaders, into God consciousness, and training the dependents into God consciousness. Once this starts, then the changes will start happening. And God consciousness is very simple, means Krishna consciousness. Or whatever other religions are also giving, okay, you practice it, but whatever is given in your scripture, you practice. Don't practice your mental dharma. And if you want to know more about it, then follow higher. That is also there. So this is a solution. And Ishopanishad and other Vedic literature are convincing upon the same fact again and again, that without God consciousness, this world will become hell. That's why it's saying, na, everybody will go to darker region, darker region. So हम कब से सुन के आ रहे हैं, सेकंड श्लोक से सुन रहे हैं, darker region, darker region, darker region. Asurya नाम ते लोका. और अभी we are hearing same thing. He will go to darker region. He will go to darker region. Nobody is saying he's going to some happy region or some light region. Everybody is going to darker region. Why? Because he's not cultivating God consciousness. So in future shloka, where worship of demigods or worship of somebody, it is going to come. Okay, so we'll end here. So we'll be having class tomorrow. Tomorrow, I think there is no important festival. Nothing is there. Yamuna, Vilas Prabhuji, is it? Yes.
No project. Yeah.
Regular time, okay?
Yes. Regular time.
Okay. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Vancha kalpatarubhishya kripa sindhuvev cha patitanam pavnebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo. Ananta koti vaishnavin ki jai. We'll end here.